Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Because I Can podcast. And this one's a little bit out of sequence with everything else that we've done because we wanted to do a bit of a Ukraine aid mission special. Some of you will be aware from the other social media channels that we communicate on that as a team, Sandstone and the Moto Joe Rally team have decided to combine all of our efforts and come together to provide aid out to Ukraine. And we thought, Paul, didn't we, that it was sort of really worthwhile to explain why and how we're doing that, and in fact how we've put that little bit of a mission together, because none of it's an accident. So we just want every listening to know how we've come to that conclusion, what it is we're going to try and do to help, and arguably more importantly, how it is that we're going to go about it. And I think Paul posted something yesterday around we're very privileged in that we have access to kit and equipment, Paul, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of us might know our backgrounds. Tim and I, have spent time in the military. We've also spent time running and being on expeditions around the UK and around the world, and we know why and how good kit makes a massive difference. When you're cold, when you're wet, when you're miserable, having the right kit on makes such a difference. And we were just thinking maybe we can use some of our contacts, some of the people we know, some of the companies that we've worked with and have really looked after us. Is there anything we can do to pull people together and put in a trip to take what people really want? As winter comes to become spring, it's going to be wet, it's going to be cold, it's going to be miserable out there. Is there anything that we and our contacts and our friends in the outdoors environment can do to help?
Yeah, exactly, guys. So, and what we did is, as we would normally do, really, we kind of did the intelligence, not information, and you've heard us bang on about that endlessly on podcasts and any training sessions you've ever attended with us. But that's exactly what we did. So the first thing we did is we kind of used our network diagram and we worked out who do we know, what, where, and when. And it turns out the number of our clients, Chevron Traffic Management, Gardner Aerospace, all have offices and contacts in Germany, Poland, and in fact in Ukraine as well. So we were able to reach out and create essentially a network diagram to work out who was what, where, and when. And in fact, one of our title sponsors for the rally team, Joe Phillips, is currently based in Warsaw in Poland. So we were able to cross-reference all of the intelligence and work out what was actually going to be needed by whom and when. And then exactly as Paul says, thankfully, we've got some great contacts in the outdoor world. So we contacted Van Gogh Outdoor, to name but one, and they've supplied us with a load of kit equipment. So we've got 5,000 boil in a bag Wayfarer meals. So far, 250 sleeping bags, and that's about to get topped up by some great generations from the public over the weekend, but also from Gately PLC and one of the schools that we're about to go and visit. And then we've also so far got 300 first aid kits. So the sleeping bags, the boil in the bag rations, and the first aid kits are where we figure we can make a little bit of a difference. But we're not just going to dibble and blindly, Paul, are we?
No, that's the point, is to have a chat with people who know and understand and can tell us where it's needed. Who and where shall we go, rather than just turning up and randomly handing it out. It's important that we know where to take it, which is the plan of the trip, which is coming up later in this week.
Yeah, so what we've done, guys, is we've got our 2 race trailers. We've stripped them out of all the kind of usual gubbins, and they're now full of all of the aid. And we've built essentially 2 car teams. And all of the guys within the vehicles have got experience of both aid work, remote operations, and obviously some military experience as well. And we've made the teams of people that have experience of crossing borders in strange places. We've got our race team mechanic with us, so we've got the ability to fix the vehicles. And in fact, we're entirely self-sufficient within each vehicle. So whilst we're sure it's going to be a fairly straightforward operation, the cars are all kitted up with tents, survival kit, and anything we might need to make sure that we're okay, in order that we're in the best possible place to deliver the aid that we need to go to. And I think the other thing we're thinking about, Paul, we often talk about SOPs, don't we? Standard operating procedures. You've talked about that in a business context before, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was banging on about it at a talk only last week, actually. When we're under stress, when we're under pressure, we make bad decisions. And so the best time to make a decision is before you need to. So having a think about it when we're calm, when we're drinking a cup of tea, when we're watching telly, now, before we're in the pressured situation, can we come up with SOPs? Can we have an idea of what we might be facing and what we might have to make decisions about, and think it through now? So we're just in a much better situation when and if the situation arises. We can reach into the drawer and pull out plan B, and we know that we've actually thought it through and discussed it when we were nice and calm and nice and relaxed, without having to panic or go with our gut, or just roll with the punches. Exactly.
Yeah. So, in other words, as we've said before, we're looking after each other before we go. We've had conversations around what we might see when we get out there, what type of risk levels we are prepared and not prepared to take as a team. And then Paul's put together a series of standard operating procedures, communications practices, etc., that I'm certain we're never going to need. But the day we do need them is not the day to be trying to work them all out. So exactly as Paul says, we're looking after each other up front. We've got everything worked out before we go to give us the best possible chance of success. Combine that with a diverse team and diverse skill sets. We've got a team of 4 in the vehicles. We've got Paul running operations room effectively back in the UK to make sure everything goes along smoothly. And we've got a whole team of people, Glenn and Fiona Piper, etc., that have been running around helping us with the administration, pulling in corporate sponsorship, and all the people that aid us to get there and back again.
Yeah, it's important that we can turn up self-sufficient, we can turn up and deliver aid, we can add value, rather than turning up and being a problem. And I think that by hopefully drawing on all the experiences of everyone in the team, we can turn up and deliver what we wanted to set out for in the first place.
And always remembering that our outcome, our in order to, is to get the medical supplies and much needed supplies to the people that need them most, in the most effective and safe manner to go and do it. And I'm saying that chuckling because those of you can probably see behind me, any of you that have been our delegates, anybody from Knight Frank or Gately certainly, will see the UN rescue mission map behind me and shudder at the thought of it. Well, there you go. It looks like we're about to go and do that for real. So we just wanted to give you a little bit of an update, to tell you what we're up to and why, and to reassure everybody that it's been worked out properly, or as best that we possibly can. And please follow us, follow the journey. Either me or Paul or at Sandstone Communications will let you know how we're getting on. We're hoping to pick up donations as well from Chevron and their various offices across Germany along the way. And we'll let you know how you get on. And hopefully there'll be a part 2 podcast where we talk about what we've achieved and the lessons learned that have come out of it.